starting to miss Nina already, and it's only been half of a day.
Evacuação deverão deixar toda a bagagem de mão e dirigirem-se rapidamente para a saída mais próxima. Neste avião existem 8 saídas de emergência, 2 portas à frente, 4 janelas sobre as asas e 2 portas atrás. Todas as saídas estão devidamente identificadas com o sinal saída exit e bandas refletoras no chão que vos indicam o percurso para as mesmas.
If you're wondering why I chose to go to the Azores, well...
So why would you want to go there?
Because I never have. That's why people go places, isn't it?
I had never been to Portugal, and photos of the Azores Islands looked so beautiful. Alright, just got to Terceira Island. Arrived here in the dark, just before sunrise. The sun is rising behind me, and I'm exhausted. I've been going for pretty much a whole day now. Almost 24 hours by the time I fly out of Terceira to go to Ponta Delgada. It's a very pleasant temperature here. Birds are chirping. The air is kind of warm and humid a little bit sticky, but it feels very oxygen rich, very full of life, very green, verdant. Getting on the third flight. All right, made it to São Miguel. 3 flights later, all my baggage arrived, so that's a success. And now I'm walking into town from the airport because I'm too cheap to pay 10 euros for a 9-minute taxi ride. That's like more than €1 a minute. So I'm gonna stretch these legs and do a little walk here. This is my room in Ponta Delgada. It's a 4-person dorm and I have it to myself.
We think it would be very prudent.
Can we turn our beds into bunk beds?
Yes.
Why are you guys so sweaty?
The first thing I did in Ponta Delgada was rent a scooter so that I could see the island. I'm over here on the north shore of São Miguel at Praia do Monte Verde, which is a beautiful beach. Look at this cozy little town with its colorful buildings, tile roofs. There's a big old pool overlooking the ocean, which I imagine is a fantastic place to cool off on a hot summer day because the views over the ocean here are just awesome. It's facing north, so it's getting some swell. This is where they hold surf competitions, the best surf on the island. Today, the winds are like 3 foot, getting blown over. It's kind of choppy out there because of the strong wind coming from the north. But this is a beautiful little spot. I think the views are very scenic, and I like this little town. The clouds are really zipping by up on the hills above the town, and the waves are spraying and crashing into the cliffs on the coast here. It's really beautiful.
Right next to the beach in the nearby cliffs, I saw a little window peeking out of the black lava rocks, so I went over to have a look.
Wow, there's a tunnel straight into the volcanic cliff here. I'm gonna follow it to see where it goes. I didn't even bring my headlamp today. And here I found this hidden tunnel into the cliff. Like, who built it? Who built it? And why is it here? Okay, that's a dead mouse, which is gross. This is a little fire hole in the wall. You could see a little cutout for the wood, and then a little oven spot, and then the smoke would come up, and there's a hole through the ceiling. Pretty wild. The tunnel turns a corner and goes into this spot, which is a little bit wider, and then keeps going. The floor is all covered in cardboard. It is pretty gross. It is pretty gross in here. There's a lot of garbage on the ground. Oh, this is the end of the tunnel. We have a very rusty ladder system here on a slight incline going up to the surface, and I can see daylight coming in up there. So this was the exit to this tunnel. Now that is why I keep my eyes open as I'm poking around a new place, because you never know what you're going to see. And this would be easy to miss if you weren't looking for it. It's just a little slit in the rocks and then a little hidden door on the side. And I don't have all the answers of what it is, but it was a cool little find right on the cliffside above the ocean. Came across this awesome swimming hole, beautiful waterfall, and it was very refreshing. 10 out of 10. And it was not an easy place to find. It's off the beaten path, and I'm really glad I did. Wow, there's like 1,000 tiny little mushroom caps here on these steps right on the trail. There's like 1,000 in a 2 foot by 2 foot space. They're tiny.
Following this penstock pipeline further upstream, you come to the ruins of 4 electric generating houses called Fábricas da Luz, which literally translates as light factories. The first is Fábrica da Vila, the oldest of the 4.
So behind me, built in 1899 to 1900, is Fábrica da Vila, a hydroelectric generating plant. It's crumbling, it's very jungly here, it's all overgrown, and
It's a very peaceful setting. Got that white noise of the waterfall just tumbling away. It's in this narrow gorge canyon-like topography. I'm sure in the winter rains, the water just comes raging down here. The penstock was diverting water straight into these turbines housed in these ruins behind me. And that was providing electricity.
I found the 125-year-old structure to be beautiful, with arched doorways, large windows, trees growing on the walls, and roots hugging the buildings like a present. Following the creek up, the next ruins are called Fábrica da Cidade. Fábrica da Cidade operated from 1904 to 1974.
This is a really old and tiny bathroom.
Why did they end power generation? I don't know. Maybe the electricity was no longer needed. The main founder of this project was engineer José Cordero, known as a pioneer of electrification in the Azores. Apparently he owned the first car too. He passed away suddenly at the age of 41 in 1908, leaving behind several unfinished projects. After exploring the ruins for a few hours, it was time to head into town to find some food to eat.